Hello and welcome to English for You. I'm Seb.
I'm Kathy.
And we are still learning about snow days. That was one of my favorite things when I was a kid. So what is a snow day again, Kathy?
A snow day is where a place is very cold and it snows outside. And for children, they like to play.
Right, and they can't go to school or the adults can't go to work because it's dangerous.
It is.
So in our last episode, we were looking at some of the jobs or chores, C-H-O-R-E-S, that you have to do when it snows. So what were the jobs that they were doing?
Like Tom and Harry, they were shoveling the snow outside their doors.
Right, they were shoveling the snow, they were clearing the sidewalk so that it would be safe. And there was somebody who needed a bit of help, wasn't there?
Harry or Tom's mom.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was Harry or Tom's mom either. I think it was Harry's mom that needed some help because maybe she's a bit older and it's a lot of hard work. And actually in the UK too, when it's very, very cold, there's lots of annoying jobs that adults have to do. So for example, my mom, every morning in the winter when it's very cold and she has to go to work, sometimes her car is covered in ice.
Oh my God.
So she gets a big bucket of boiling water. She boils some water on the stove and she goes outside and she throws it over the car so she can melt the ice off her car. So that's always what I remember my parents doing. Anyway, our article today is called Work and Play in the Snow. Yesterday was all about work, so I guess today is going to be the fun side of the article. Let's find out what everyone is getting up to in day 2 of our snow day article.
Reading.
Work and play in the snow. Harry and Tom's kids, Debbie and Lucy, come outside.
Dad, I've swept the steps. Can I play in the snow with Lucy?
Are you wrapped up warmly enough? It's freezing out here.
Of course. I have a waterproof jacket and pants on.
What about you, Lucy?
Me too. I have my scarf and gloves as well.
Okay, enjoy yourselves.
Let's make snow angels.
They fall backward into the snow and move their arms and legs.
This is fun.
You should build a snowman. We seldom get this much snow, so you might not get another chance this year.
We'll roll a big snowball to make a body and a smaller one for the head.
We can use sticks for arms and dress him in old clothes.
Dad, how can we make his face?
In my day, we used coal for the eyes and a carrot for the nose. No one uses coal these days, though.
Dark stones for the eyes and mouth would work.
Good idea. We'll look for some.
The kids make their snowman.
Okay, so the article begins by saying Harry and Tom's kids, Debbie and Lucy, come outside.
And Debbie says, Dad, I've swept the steps. Can I play in the snow with Lucy?
It looks like Debbie has been helping out. She's been sweeping the steps of the house. Now, sweep is a verb and it's one that we use a lot when we're doing chores. That's because when we sweep a surface, we make it clean by removing dust or other small things using a broom or a 掃把. The kids have just been sweeping the steps. But if they were inside cleaning, then they could have used a vacuum cleaner. That's a 吸尘器. They might have also wanted to make the floor wet with soap and water and then rub it with something like a broom so that it's clean. What that is called is mopping. So we could say that they mopped the floor, 拖地. Sounds like they've been doing some spring cleaning then in this article. So what was spring cleaning again?
Spring cleaning.
Spring
大
cleaning.
扫除.
Yes, the big cleaning that we do in the beginning of the year.
這裡我們看到今天的第一個單字 sweep 是動詞，指清掃、掃除。它的三態呢分別是 sweep, swept, swept。這個動作就是 to clean something, especially a floor, by using a brush, a broom to collect a brush to collect the dirt into one place. For example, she swept the ashes from the fireplace.
And I just realized we need to do an example sentence for sweep, don't we? So here is our example sentence for sweep. After she finished cutting the hair, the hairdresser swept the hair up using a broom. So remember there, sweep is actually an irregular verb. So its forms are sweep, swept, swept. And that is with PT, not PED. Right, let's continue with our article. Tom says, "Are you wrapped up warmly enough? It's freezing out here."
在这句当中，我们看到一个常见的片語 wrap up， 它的三態呢分別是 wrap, wrapped, wrapped。Wrap somebody up 就是穿的暖和，同學們可以想象在下雪天當中穿了好幾層的衣服，把自己包起來的狀態。而 wrap up 也可以用在物品上面，例如Have you wrapped up Jenny's present yet?
Oh, that reminds me, I haven't wrapped my sister's birthday present yet. I need to do that when I get home. Okay, it looks like we have our second vocab word now, freezing. Now, freezing is an adjective, and when we describe a place as freezing, we mean that it is very, very cold. Countries like Canada and Russia have freezing winters because the temperatures there get very low. You could also take a freezing shower or a shower of very, very cold water. You wouldn't want to do that, though. I know I don't like freezing showers.
Me neither.
Freezing comes from the verb freeze, which means to turn water into ice. We can also use the word boil, that's 煮水, to describe a temperature. A boiling room, for example, is really, really hot. And a boiling shower, well, that's dangerous, isn't it?
It is.
You don't want to have a boiling shower.
No.
Let's look at an example sentence for freezing now before we move on. The weather was freezing outside, so Danny decided not to go out and play football in the park.
同學們應該有印象 freeze 這個字，警察呢叫犯人不要動的時候都會說 freeze， 它的意思就是凍結。所以這裡的 freezing 是形容詞，意思是極冷的 extremely cold。我們來造個很生活化的句子 It's freezing in here. Can I close the window? 或是They survived for 4 hours in the freezing water. So in order to prevent herself from getting cold, Debbie says, Of course, I have a waterproof jacket and pants on. Waterproof 也是個很好記的單字，可以拆開成 water 和 proof 來記，合在一起呢就是防水的、不透水的。
Okay, so Harry continues, What about you, Lucy?
And Lucy says, Me too. I have my scarf and gloves as well.
Ah, okay, so she's got her scarf and gloves. She's well wrapped up. A scarf, by the way, that's a noun, is a long piece of clothing that you wrap around your neck to keep warm in cold weather. In the UK in winter, people often wear scarves because it is too cold just to wear a coat. In some countries, though, people wear a wider piece of fabric called a poncho. You wear these either over your head or over your shoulders, but it's much thicker, well, much wider than a scarf. Ponchos are normally made of wool, so they keep you nice and warm. Here's an example sentence for scarf now. Why on earth are you wearing a scarf around your neck? It's the middle of July.
I would never do that.
Yeah, neither would I. I think I would melt.
Scarf 就是圍巾，目的是 to keep you warm or to make you look attractive. Scarf 也有不同材質的，像是 a woolen scarf 羊毛的圍巾 or 絲質的就叫做 silk scarf. 而 scarf 當動詞還有另外一個意思 to eat a lot of food quickly. For example, in no time, I scarfed down 2 hamburgers, French fries, and something to drink.
Oh, it sounds like you ate a lot. Okay, so Harry says, okay, enjoy yourselves.
Enjoy yourselves Enjoy oneself 就是玩得開心 have fun 的意思。
Now, Lucy seems very excited to go and play in the snow because she says, let's make snow angels. A snow angel is a design which we make by lying in the snow and moving your arms up and down and your legs from side to side to make the shape of an angel. Making snow angels is a common game for children. So now they fall backward into the snow and move their arms and legs. Okay, so backward is our next word. Backward is an adverb, and we use it to talk about a motion or a movement when something is moving towards its back. So if I move backward, let me turn to the side to show you this. If I move backward, then I'm moving in this direction. So my head is pointing this way, this is my front, and I'm moving that way. So I'm moving backward with the back of my head first and my head facing away from the direction I'm traveling. It sounds pretty strange, doesn't it? In fact, there are plenty of times we travel backward. We might not walk backward all the time, but if we're in a car, for example, we might drive backward. We call this reversing. When we reverse, we might be coming out of a car parking space, or we might be going round a corner. Sometimes we have to reverse around corners. But hang on a second. What do we call it when you're not walking backward? When you're walking normally and you're not reversing in a car? Well, we just say that you are moving forward. So we move backward when we are going backwards, when we're moving with the back of our head first, and we're moving forward when we're moving with our face, the front of our body, as the first thing which is moving ahead. So that is backward and forward. If you're going from side to side, we say you move sideways. Now, let's look at an example of how moving backward can really be a problem. The car rolled backward down the hill, crashing into a fence at the bottom.
这邊我們看到 backward 這個單字是副詞，意思是向後 towards the direction that is the opposite to the one in which you are facing. For example, she left without a backward glance. 而相反的方向就是 forward 向前 And so they sure are enjoying themselves. Debbie says, this is fun.
And Harry says, you should build a snowman. We seldom get this much snow, so you might not get another chance this year. I think building a snowman sounds like a great idea.
Yes.
A great thing you can do when you have lots of snow, which they seldom get. Now, seldom is an adverb, and when you seldom do something, you rarely do it. So we can tell from this article that lots of snow isn't common where Harry and Tom live. It probably just falls once or twice a year. For that reason, I could say that it seldom snows in the UK, because we only get snow one day or a couple of days per year. I could also say that it snows infrequently, or that it snows once in a while. Both infrequently and once in a while are similar in meaning to seldom. Let's look at an example for seldom now. I seldom speak to Harry because we are not friends and he lives quite far away.
这里的 seldom 是很少，几乎从來沒有的 almost never 的意思。像如果你周邊有人剛生完小孩，他們一定會有這種感覺哦。Now that we have a baby, we seldom get the chance to go to the theater. So the article continues by Debbie saying, We'll roll a big snowball to make a body and a smaller one for the head.
Right, that's a good way of making a snowman. Lucy says, we can use sticks for arms and dress him in old clothes.
And then Debbie asks his dad, she says, Dad, how can we make his face?
Well, Tom has some good ideas. He says, in my day, we used coal for the eyes and a carrot for the nose. No one uses coal these days, though.
这邊我們看到另外一個常見的片語 In my day 就是我小時候當年 When I was young 的意思像長輩可能就會說這樣的話 Kids take so much for granted nowadays. In my day, a new bike was really special.
Coal is a noun. and it's a source of energy. That's a thing that we get energy from. So petrol, for example, or wind power or solar power, those are all sources of energy. Coal, though, is different. It's a black rock that can be burned to make energy. Traditionally, we used to get most of our electricity from coal, and we'd do that by burning it in big centers called power plants. A long, long time ago, people also burnt coal in their homes on fires to keep warm. The problem with this was that coal is very bad for the environment. It makes the air very bad, and it can cause lots of problems with your health and especially with your lungs, the things that you breathe through. Or you breathe using them, sorry. Luckily, people are aware of this now, and they are using coal less and less. They're thinking twice about using coal. Here's an example sentence of how we can use coal. Tim's dad used to work in a coal mine, going underground to dig up the rock so it could be used in a power plant.
今天文章最後一個單字是 coal， 就是煤塊。所以這邊 Tom 在跟孩子們說，當年他們用 coal 做成雪人的眼睛。這時候 Harry 在一旁也說話了，他說呢 ，dark stones for the eyes and mouth would work。意思就是說，用深色、暗色的石頭當眼睛和嘴巴也行哦。
And Lucy says, good idea. We'll look for some. We'll look for some dark stones.
孩子們覺得，這個主意很不錯，所以就說 good idea。我們會 look for some， 我們會尋找一些來當做材料。如果你把 for 換成 out， 變成 look out for somebody，或者是 something 的意思，就完全不一樣咯，變成是小心留意了。For example, look out, there is a train coming.
Be careful. So the article finishes by saying that the kids make their snowman. Great, okay, so it sounds like they're having a lot of fun in the snow. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about that in our For You Chat question. So don't go anywhere.
For You Chat.
Okay, so our For You Chat question is another one about activities. What other fun things can you do in the snow?
You can have a snowball fight by setting up something to throw at. You can go skiing, go sledding, 拉雪橇, or stomp through the snow and make footprints. Or you can get creative outside in the cold. Paint the snow, make it colorful.
I've never tried painting the snow before. That's a very interesting idea. That's a clever one right there. I remember when I was a kid, I used to love going sledding. Actually, in the UK, we say sledging. So that's spelled S-L-E-G-D-I-N-G. But it's the same. We go on a small wooden kind of cart. But instead of having wheels, it just has two little kind of skis on the bottom. And you slide down a hill. So sledging for me is a lot of fun. I already told you that I really like going skiing. But did you know there's a kind of skiing where you can go on flat ground too?
Really?
Yes. It's called cross-country skiing. Yes. And it has a special kind of shoe so that you can kind of shoot forward, slide forward and go through the countryside. If you're somewhere like Canada or Russia and there's lots and lots of snow, then you can do this activity. It's very popular in places like that. And I have one other thing that I love to do personally, ice skating.
Oh, cool.
Yes, ice skating is a lot of fun, but you've got to be careful about where you do it. You don't want to fall through the ice.
No.
Because it's going to be very, very cold. All right, well, that is all the time we have for talking about snow and all the fun that we can have in the snow. I know I've had fun in this activity. Okay, so we will leave you here and we will join you again for more exciting articles. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Work and play in the snow. Harry and Tom's kids, Debbie and Lucy, come outside.
Dad, I've swept the steps. Can I play in the snow with Lucy?
Are you wrapped up warmly enough? It's freezing out here.
course. I have a waterproof jacket and pants on.
What about you, Lucy?
Me too. I have my scarf and gloves as well.
Okay, enjoy yourselves.
Let's make snow angels.
They fall backward into the snow and move their arms and legs.
This is fun.
You should build a snowman. We seldom get this much snow, so you might not get another chance this year.
We'll roll a big snowball to make a body and a smaller one for the head.
We can use sticks for arms and dress him in old clothes.
Dad, how can we make his face?
In my day, we used coal for the eyes and a carrot for the nose. No one uses coal these days, though.
Dark stones for the eyes and mouth would work.
Good idea. We'll look for some.
The kids make their snowman.
Vocabulary Review.
Sweep. Kathy broke the window and had to sweep some broken glass off the floor. Freezing. Emma kept rubbing her hands to make herself feel warmer in the freezing weather. Scarf. Annie wore a scarf around her neck to stay extra warm on the cold day. Backward. Before we could get on the train, we had to step backward to let people off. Seldom. I seldom eat at that restaurant because it's expensive. Coal. We cooked our meat over hot coals on the barbecue.
智慧小补帖
Waterproof.
以上节目是由活用空中美語製作。活用空中美語雜誌，請洽詢全國各大書店。如欲索取試聽教材，請來電02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上網查詢，網址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net